Welcome to 7 Pot Club. I'm Rob.
I grow hot peppers.
The 7 pot in the name 7 Pot Club refers to a variety of hot pepper, not the number of pots we own. As you can see, we have a few more than that. I don't know the exact count, but it's over 200 this year. In addition to the Kasota limestone surrounding our front bed, we have an inner rectangle of slate laid down inside it. This provides a lot of area to surround the in-ground plants with colorful pots. It makes for a nice vivid display for neighborhood foot traffic in the early weeks of the growing season. But as the season progresses, plants grow taller and taller, and soon you can't see the forest for the trees, or in this case, the pots through the foliage. So at first, it's just an aesthetic issue. But as pods begin to ripen, it becomes an impediment to harvesting. There is no practical way to walk around the plants to find and pick ripe peppers. It's hard to even locate each pot for watering. There are at least a dozen pots in this shot. How many can you see? That's when I know it's time for the Great Hot Pepper Pot Migration. It's a personal holiday I celebrate each summer around the end of July. First, I make room by moving the row of pots on the sidewalk onto the grass. Then I move some pots along the other side of the walk out of the way to provide access. Then I start pulling the pots out of the middle of the plot and I find them new homes around the yard. I have to be careful not to stumble over plants while doing so. When I'm all done, it's time for celebration. This year, I wrote and recorded a new song for the occasion. Hope you enjoy.
It's an annual celebration, the Great Hot Pepper Pot Migration. It's hard to pick a peck of peppers when plants are way too close together. Since harvesting's my motivation, some pots will need a relocation. Am I getting older? Are these pots getting heavier? The ripening is finally here. I always loved this time of year. Now there's easy access to the bounty of our garden. So raise a glass in celebration of the Great Hot Pepper Pot Migration. Easy pickings and plants have room to grow. If they kill the grass, I'll just have less to mow. My back is hurting more than you could know.
Cats hate change. I was documenting the post-migration pot placement when Freddie slunk into the scene, obviously unnerved by the new arrangement of pots. But once he saw me and sniffed my phone, he seemed reassured. Let's take a quick tour around the garden. So now there are 2 rows of pots along the north side of the walk. I know this isn't good for the lawn, but I have little choice. For me, peppers take precedence over grass. Here's the area I call the extension. Just another place to tuck in some pots. Okay, here are the ground beds. We'll dive in for a closer look once I get around to the other side. Hope you don't mind the leisurely pace. I like to tightly edit most of my footage, but I'm presenting this in real time. Now that I can clearly distinguish individual plants, it's almost like I'm seeing them for the first time. Let's travel all the way down the walk and into our rock garden. The pots now extend almost all the way down to the public sidewalk. From here, you can see the front row of fabric pots and the extension. On the other side, these in-ground plantings are forced to accommodate an invasion of pepper pots. Now we'll travel past the leaning rock of 7 Pot Manor, then up the driveway side. Check out the patch of volunteer yarrow. So glad I didn't cut this down like a weed. There's a long row of pots along the south side of the beds. These do get in the way of harvesting the in-ground plants, but they're easy to temporarily move out of the way while we're picking. Let's dive into the nearly cleared main bed. It's my first chance in a while to take a close look at many of these plants. Look at these ahi Russian yellow. First year growing these and they're wonderful. Fruity and fairly hot, very much like some Peruvian ahis. Also finding a lot of weeds that we couldn't see before. It's still mid-season and a lot of slow maturing plants are just starting to produce. Very prolific ahi Ethiopian fire on the right. Look at these ripe phytali. I had no idea they were here. These beauties are destined for immediate consumption. Here's red savina and an M. Teja habanero. Have to move on now, but I want to show you almost each and every plant in a future episode. Later that evening, the first sighting this year of an ice cream truck on our street. Now it's time for the weekly foliar application of Fishnure Compost Tea. I didn't show the proper dilution for this type of sprayer last time, so bear with me while I do it again. This is the third week of application. I used half of the 64-ounce bottle last week, so I'm just going to assume there's a quart of compost tea left in here. I'll pour that right into the jug. Now I'll measure out a teaspoon of the activator and dump that in. Next, I'll add 3 quarts of water to make a gallon of solution. Washing off the spoon in the process. The label recommends leaving tap water sit for 24 hours to bleed off any chlorine. I wonder how that works with a hose end sprayer when water is coming straight from the faucet. This week, I'm also going to add an organic CalMag supplement. It's a good time of year to give the plants a little booster application of calcium and magnesium to keep the foliage looking lush. It's very concentrated, so just 2 milliliters is plenty for this gallon of liquid. Time to seal it up, shake it up, and pump it up. Then, let the spraying commence. I'm really loving the easy access I now have to the plants in this bed. They're getting soaked all over, and they're loving it. I'll continue these treatments for the next 3 weeks. Fast forward a few days, and the garden is looking very healthy and happy. I give so much credit to Fishnure Organic Fish Manure Compost, both the solid product mixed into the soil and the liquid applied to the leaves. I've always been honest about getting these products for free, but I wouldn't continue to use Fishnure if it didn't deliver superior results. This season, we went from a disastrous start to what is shaping up to be one of our best years ever. Fishnure is available on Amazon, and there's an affiliate link in the description if you'd like to try it for yourself. Not pepper related, and you may not give a hoot, but I can't resist showing you this barred owl that spent a few hours in our neighbor's backyard tree. It's amazing how much urban wildlife we've seen around the neighborhood recently. And here's a brief glimpse of some of this week's early ripening. Check out these M.A. Teja habaneros, seeds courtesy of Jimmy Johnson. I love how quickly they change from purple to orange. Time to harvest a few. 7-Pot Primo Orange are having some early ripening. So are 7-Pot Lucy. When they start ripening in quantity, we'll be sending a lot of 7-Pots and Scorpions off to Hotheads Official for use in our new hot sauce collaboration. So excited to see how that turns out. We've been picking some nice Carolina Reapers too. This one's got quite a tail. And what a treat to discover these ripe hot paper lanterns. Habanero level heat and so tasty. Here's the complete midweek harvest, minus the ones I already ate. Here's the first white ghost. I guess that one wasn't totally ripe. Ooh, a nice batch of Carolina Reapers, Habanero Hot Lemon, 7-Pot Primo Orange, a bumper crop of Jelly Bean. In the coming weeks, these harvests should get bigger and bigger, and hey, that's why we grow.
Last year, I filmed a 2-part Walking the Pepper Path episode where I toured the garden and showed off each plant, and I'm looking forward to doing that again as soon as more peppers begin to ripen. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and tap the bell to receive a notification each time we post a new episode. Check out all our 7-Pot Club and hot pepper related merch at 7pot.club/merch. And for even more 7-Pot Club, follow our daily updates on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. For 7-Pot Club, I'm Rob.